My husband cheated on me with my sister, destroying our marriage and my family. Now, he's begging me to take him back, but I'm happily expecting a child with my new love. I, 33 female, met my ex-husband Dan, 40 male, almost 15 years ago, at a restaurant when I was celebrating my 18th birthday. He was really nice, charming, and mature. He made me feel loved and special. For some context, I grew up in a dysfunctional family. My mom and dad used to always fight. My dad would sometimes go out and not come back for months. He died when my sister Abby, 25 female, was born. My mom has been way more fond of Abby since her birth than of me. Abby was basically babied by my mother. She didn't neglect me at all. She always did her best as a mother and provided for me. But I always felt sometimes missing. After Dan came into my life, I didn't feel like there was something missing from me. He supported me, he was caring, he would always buy me gifts and take me out on long drives. I felt complete when I was with him. We got married after dating for 4 years. I wanted to start a family right away, but Dan encouraged me to do my master's and helped me build my career. He wanted us to be in a stable position financially before we started thinking about having kids seriously. He was the best guy I could ever ask for. After 5 years of being happily married, I discovered that my husband was cheating on me with Abby. I discovered the affair when my husband made the excuse that he would go out of town for a week. But he stayed in town and he booked a hotel room where he and Abby could have sex. This had been going on for months behind my back. I was really devastated. Abby and I were close growing up. I loved her and cared for her. How could she do this to me? After D-Day, Dan and I had a fight. I asked how could he do this to me, that too with my sister who just turned. He said he didn't love me anymore and that I didn't give him enough attention. I'm not the same girl he fell in love with. In this mess, I discovered that I was pregnant, but due to the stress, I lost the baby. He didn't even care enough to visit me at the hospital when I lost our child. He was having a weekend getaway with my sister. I should have seen the signs. Abby would always be touchy with Dan. Dan would sometimes stare at her, but it is still very disturbing for me. My mother as usual took Abby's side and told me to just make peace with it. I wanted to live myself because I had no one left. I lost my child, my husband, and my whole family. Then my best friend Tina, my savior, came to my rescue. She was moving to another state and asked me to come with her. I said yes. I was already divorced at that point, and we lived in a small town, so I would obviously run into my ex and my sister. It took me a while to settle into my new life in a different state, but I met some kind people there. It helped me heal from some trauma. I still have trust issues. I met my now husband Tony, male, after 1 year of moving to the new place. I was really hesitant and kept my guard up, but he showed me that he is trustworthy and loves me a lot. I was so happy with him that I almost forgot about the life I had back in my hometown. His parents were really welcoming and generous people. We got married a year ago. I am now pregnant with our first child. Yesterday, I got an email from my ex, Dan. It just brought back all the bad memories. I am just paraphrasing his email. He mentioned that he missed me. He tried to find me but couldn't. He is very miserable with my sister. She is very dumb and doesn't care about him like I do. I used to bake him a cake and throw birthday parties for him. But Abby only texted him happy birthday and didn't even bother to buy him a cake. Plus, she is very rude, she doesn't respect him, and she is always at the bar with her friends. He also mentioned that she has cheated on him 5 times already. The last affair was with his cousin. Our mother also doesn't stop her. He will soon file for divorce, but lately he has been missing me a lot. He wants us to try again as a couple. He wants us to become a family just like before. Since I do not have social media except for Instagram, which is private, he probably doesn't know that I am married and I have a baby on the way. I don't know if I should feel pity for him or just laugh, because the grass on his side is very brown rather than green. Update. I just wanted to say thanks to all of you who messaged and showed me support. I have decided to send him an email and be done with it. It goes like this. Dan, I am sorry to hear that you are suffering, but there is no way I would be with you. Yes, there was a time when I used to be that girl who would have taken you in a heartbeat, but that girl is not there anymore. That girl died the day I had a miscarriage and you were somewhere shacking up with my sister. I called you but you never picked it up. I am married to a wonderful man who loves me and cherishes me. I am also pregnant with our first child. I am beginning this new chapter of my life with someone I love and care deeply about, so please do not contact me ever again. You made your choice. You chose my barely legal sister over me. I do not care if she cheats on you or if she doesn't respect you. Someone like you doesn't deserve loyalty and respect anyway. I have left my old life in my old town. It will be best for you to move on and have some self-reflection on yourself. You are just a deeply insecure man who is getting old and thought having a young woman would be good by his side. Goodbye. Update, to a lot of you who have been asking me what he replied, well, he replied within an hour of my emailing him. He said that he was stupid enough to believe that I would still wait for him, and he said he would always wait for me because no matter what I would always be his baby doll. I cringed hard. He used to call me that, but now it feels repulsive. I also got an email from my mom and my sister. My mom just congratulated me and was excited that she was going to be a grandmother, and my sister also did the same and said she would be the cool aunt. I cannot believe these people. They forgot how they treated me when I needed them, and moreover, you betrayed me. I cried for a long time because I've been reading your comments, and it seems like me and my sister were groomed by that man. I feel so stupid. I know I shouldn't be mad at my sister, but she was old enough to know it's bad to have an affair with a married man. That too is someone who is your sister's husband. I blocked all of them. I am already 5 months pregnant. I don't need more stress. God bless my husband. He comforted me when I cried, later took me out for ice cream. I hope I can move past this. Update, I cooled down now, and I think I can make a more elaborate update. Thanks to everyone who has shown me support, I needed it. The email from him, my ex, just struck me like a train. I had flashbacks of everything he had done to me. I think you guys deserve a detailed update. After I sent him the reply mail, he emailed me within an hour with the thing I said in my update. A few hours later, I get 2 other emails from my mom and sister. They sent me my old email address, which I hardly use now. I don't know how they knew about my pregnancy. I try to keep a low profile. I still haven't posted my baby bump pics on social media or made any announcements. I only have Instagram to follow my friends. But it just scared me. I broke down crying on the spot. Luckily, my husband Tony was around. He held me and put me on the couch. He knows everything about me. I never hid anything from him. I was a little bit scared that my mom and sister would find me. He reassured me that I was hundreds of miles away from them. I mean, we are in the opposite part of our country. He took me out for ice cream to comfort me. It took 2 ice cream cones to finally calm me down. I told him about my concerns and that my mom and sister might demand to see my baby. It's a girl. He told them he would talk to his uncle, who is a police officer, to be on the lookout for them. Even if they come here and force themselves on you, he will fight for it. He is going to consult with his lawyer friend about this matter, and she told me not to worry about my ex. He can't harm me anymore. My husband even made a joke that he would move countries if he had to. Lastly, someone in my post commented that I should alert the daycare about my mom and sister in case they try to steal my baby. Well, we aren't planning to put her in daycare. Even though I am currently working, I decided I would quit my job, look after my baby, and focus on healing from giving birth. I do have a good amount of savings in my personal bank. And this is my own decision. I will go back to work when our little princess is a little bit older. My in-laws are amazing. My Mel and Phil live nearby. They are both good people and offered to help with my child. Also, don't worry, apart from my in-laws, I have a good support system too. Tina and her wife Jenny basically adopted me. They are really good people and they have always helped me. I don't know what will happen in the future, but at least I am surrounded by some good people that I never had growing up. Now I will take your leave and enjoy my husband pampering me. If something big happens, I will keep you guys updated. And my ex, sister, and mother are all blocked. Second story. Story op ruined her sister's marriage. Now couldn't handle the guilt. My younger sister and her husband Bill were like the greatest love story I ever knew until I ruined their marriage. And I don't know how to live with the guilt. My family has cut off all contact with me. And I can't even blame them for it. The guy who I was interested in also left me. And now I see him happy in a new relationship. But I can't blame myself. About a year ago, I was on a hen weekend for my best friend in the big city. That's where my brother has a small overnight rental for when he works in the city. We, him and I, decided to meet to exchange Christmas gifts because they were spending Christmas with his family, and my sister was probably 30 weeks pregnant. They live a few hours away. He ran late at work, so I was already bar hopping with the girls. And when I texted him my location, that was the last thing I remembered. I remember there were drugs and alcohol involved, and I woke up in Bill's bed in my underwear. Bill was livid because I had never taken drugs, and he thought I was stupid for experimenting alone in a city I didn't exactly know. He found me outside, passing out in a mini dress when it was below 0°. I was covered in vomit as well, so he took me home. He didn't want me to sleep in my dirty clothes, and he tucked lots of pillows behind me so I didn't sleep on my back and maybe choke on my vomit. Bill lost one of his best friends while growing up this way. He spent the night sitting in a chair next to the bed, scared that I would fall on my back and die. He was really livid the next day and called me all sorts of immature, careless, stupid, and ignorant. I could have been hurt, abused, or assaulted. I agreed with everything he said because I was reckless and so ashamed of it. He told me never to speak of this to anybody, especially my sister, who is the jealous type. I agreed against my better judgment, but he was so kind to me and probably saved me that night, so I agreed. Besides him and me, one of the girls I traveled with figured it out when I disappeared from the club without a jacket and bag. She had them, and then later Bill asked her to drop by with fresh clothes and a coat. She must be the one who spread what happened. A few months later, my sister got the version that I spent the night with Bill and I needed a change of clothes. Not telling her everything immediately when it happened only made it worse. They are now separated and processing the divorce. My sister is broken and my baby niece is going to grow up in a broken home where her parents fight over custody. My mother and the rest of the family have all cut contact with me. I wish that Bill never found me passed out behind that club that night. I should have died from odd choking or hypothermia. I'm just so very sorry. Some comments: have you told your sister all this? Why you did it was very stupid, but she should be thankful that her husband has probably saved her sister's life. OP replies, yes, we told her everything, but it was unfortunately too late. She didn't believe us. I'm puzzled by this. Your sister is going to believe one of your drunk party friends over her own husband and sister and throw away her entire marriage to this person who never saw anything actually happen. Either your sister has serious issues, or there were other reasons she had to doubt her husband, or this is just another Reddit creative writing project. He should have called her, told her how he found you, and kept in contact with her the entire time. This isn't on you. The really dubious aspect of the story is why Bill didn't immediately call his wife and tell her he found her sister passed out, covered in vomit on the street outside of a bar. If you find a family member in that situation, your natural inclination is to immediately contact family members just to let them know they are safe. Immediately deciding that this is a secret we tell no one, that it is sketchy. I have questions. Are you sure there wasn't some issue between them as a couple, and they were not as fairy tale as everyone thought because of how quickly your sister threw it away? This line in particular has me thinking, he told me never to speak of it to anybody, especially my sister, because she is the jealous type. Even if she was the jealous type, what is he trying to say here? If your sister found out, would she think you, her sister, and her husband banged on this occasion? What? That's a hell of a leap. I mean, wouldn't your sister just be happy that you were safe, that you were with someone who you both trusted? Why does being drunk automatically equate to something happening? Also, the speed at which he suggested that you keep it quiet. I think he has been in the doghouse before. OP replies, if there were issues nobody knew about them. Update on our true off my chest, OP has deleted her second account. I'm sorry that I deleted my account yesterday. I just felt overwhelmed by the people who contacted me to say that it was fake. I really freaked out and was very hurt. I don't know why my lack of ability to write makes my conundrum less serious. I don't get that this is not the whole story either. I spent 4 hours trying to make the text as short as possible. I thought I did a great job. I don't want to convince you to believe me because it doesn't matter either way. But I have to say that I have never seen a post so attacked. Why so heartless? I will answer a few of the questions people asked. And then I have a small update because I have been in contact with Bill several times today, and I ended up sending him the post. Thank goodness the link worked, even with the account deleted and him nothing on Reddit. One where everyone lives. I live in the same town as the rest of the family, 5 hours away from the big city. My sister and her husband live 2 hours away from the big city in the opposite direction. This means we live 7 to 8 hours apart. 2. Why I was alone that night. I wasn't. My friends were inside the club. I went out for some reason and passed out. The club is on a busy street, and everyone was drunk at that time. Nobody was paying any attention. Bill found me because he recognized me. I don't know why Bill didn't talk to his wife, my sister, immediately. I was passed out. He said he knew her well, she would be suspicious anyway, and probably try to drive in the snow and still think we were up to something. Why didn't go to a hospital? Drugs are illegal here. Bill didn't want me to get into trouble, and I think that he thought that I was just very drunk. I could lose my job if I got it on my record that I had used substances. 5. Was I drunk? No, unfortunately. I remember that I was very drunk, and it sounded exciting to take a pill a guy one of my friends knew was passing. It was all me and my stupidity, all my stupidity. 6. Why didn't Bill put a t-shirt on me or something? He covered me up with a duvet while I was sleeping. When I woke up, he lent me his gym clothes. I talked to Bill today. Someone here suggested a lie detector test. I really got very excited. Anyway, when I talked to Bill, he wasn't as excited. He told me that he would be brutally truthful with me. Now he doesn't want to salvage his marriage. He said that these months have made him understand that my sister and I are wrong together. My sister was cheated on in her previous relationship, and according to him, she was punishing him for what the other dude did to her throughout their relationship. He never said anything because he loved her, and when it was good between them, it was great. That is the part we all get to see, the fairy tale kind of love. He was terrified when I spent the night at his place and wanted to do anything for her not to find out. What happened to me brought back his PTSD from his best friend's passing, and when my sister found out, he hoped that she would at least be understanding because she knew about his best friend. Her being unsupportive when he needed her made him realize that he didn't love her anymore. I sent him the post all the same. He apologized for some reason for what my mom did. She beat me because she believed my sister. I called him again and asked him if I could at least do the poly to give my sister proof that I was innocent. He said that I should do what I saw fit. He said that all he wanted now was to fight for his daughter because my sister is trying to block him from getting custody. He also said that he has been dating a girl for a few weeks now, so that's it, he is moving on. I texted my sister that I was willing to do a poly to prove that I was truthful. She didn't answer me. My mother did, however. She told me to leave my sister alone, or they would call the cops on me and get a restraining order. She also called me a junkie, and she threatened to rat me out of my workplace. I don't know if the guilt will ever leave me. There is no coming back from this, and everybody seems to be moving on. Maybe it's time for me to move on too. Some comments on the update post. I hope hearing the truth about their relationship will help you realize that, no matter if that night happened or not, they most likely wouldn't have had a fairy tale ending because their relationship wasn't as perfect as you thought. Your Bill doesn't blame you, so try not to blame yourself. It wasn't your fault. The reason the rest of your family is blaming you is because they're refusing to see the truth. That's on them, not on you. OP replies, I have been crying since Bill told me not to tell my sister that he was dating. I'm so sorry, and this will probably break her. I don't think I could just shut these feelings down. It was all me. I hope knowing Bill realized his marriage was a dead end helps you move on. Your sister clearly has trust issues, and it's not your responsibility. If she had trusted either you or her husband, they would still be married. This is not your fault. Again, your family sounds toxic, and sadly, you're probably better off not trying to contact them. Treat yourself and try finding a way back to normality. Therapy is never a bad idea, even if it's just hearing from a professional that you did not ruin someone else's life. You needed help that night, and luckily you got it. That's it. All the best. OP replies, thank you. This is just so unnecessary and hurtful. My sister will hate me even more once she finds out Bill is already dating.